Hey my loves, Empress Vibrant here. So, what could easily be a rant, I'm going to use as a teachable moment. So, a little bit of a story time. So, I was out with my children, running a few errands, the usual. Then we were in one of our little Arndale centres, and they have the little cars and the fire trucks that you have to pay the little £1.50 for them to do their little ride, and it's like about a minute or so. Anyway, me and a little man's coming out of the super jugs or something. Was coming out of one of the shops them anyway, and he was like, "Oh, can I go on the fire truck?" So we see some little children just on it playing or whatever. So we're standing there for a second, and I was like, "Oh," so I said to the mum, "Are they going on?" Because he wants a turn. "Oh yeah, no, he can go on." I said, "No, he's gonna go on, and he wants to drive." She's like, "Oh no, there's a space at the back." I said, "If your children are not going to use it, they can sit at the back, and my son wants to drive." The mum's looking at the children are looking at the mum. Then they start talking in their language. And then, long story short, long story short, the boys didn't want to move. So I said, oh, okay. So he was just like, so they was like, "You can go to the back, you can go to the back." So my son's sort of like, I could kind of go to the back. I was like, "Do you want to go to the back, or do you want to drive the son?" "I want to drive." So I said, "Well, yeah." So I said, "Well, it's only right." I said, if I'm going to pay, I said, if you're going to be the one paying for the ride, you should be the one driving. One of the children should go at the back, but I'm more than happy for them to all ride the thing together, because there's a space enough for all of them. But what I'm not going to do is pay for the thing, and then my son has to sit at the back, but he really wants to drive. Oh no. And the woman's really looking at me, and I'm looking at the woman, and I'm like, so you're not going to say to your sons, "Oh, come off now so the little boy can have a turn," because they have money and I am not willing to spend the £150, unless you probably already spent £150. But the long story, look at this on my face. Anywho, sure, regardless. Anyway, so I'm like, so I'm just looking at the woman, the woman's looking at me. So I said to my son, "No, don't worry yourself, let's go. And the woman's looking and the children's looking all sad. I said, "You shouldn't look sad." I said, "If you'd have let the boy sit at the front, yeah, then you all could have rid the thing together." So I said, "Anyway, let's go." So we went circle round and go and do a couple little bits. I said, by the time we circle back, hopefully they'll be gone now. So we circle back now. There's more children there, but they're just playing on it like stationary. So there were two girls in the front, and then one of the boys at the back. So I said, "Oh, are we going on, mummy?" So I said to the other woman, she went, "Oh, no, come off now so the boy can go on," like what the first mum should have done. Anyway, her and them are talking, they must have known each other, whatever, they're chatting in their language. I said, "All right, cool." So then the lady, the little girl got out so that the boy could turn up, my son could go into the driver's seat. So I said, "All right, that's right." And then the other girl sat there, and I said to the little boy, "You can go in at the back, They're giving me the evils, because obviously beforehand we did have our interaction. So then they was just giving me the evils. So I said, "So all right." So the girl came back on, and then let the boy ride the thing, and woo, they was having a nice time. And then I got off now. I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." I said, "No, you're more than welcome. I'm more than happy for the children to ride, but because, I'm paying for it and my son wants to drive, I think it's only right." I said, No, I understand. And the other woman was just looking at me like, So I say all of that to say, if you allow it, people will take the living piss. You understand me? If you allow them, they will just take everything. Because if you don't put in the boundaries, if you don't put the pause in, then people just run you red. You hear me? They will run you red. They will pick out your very eyeball if you allow them to pick out your very eyeball. And I had to make it be a teachable lesson for my son. You don't have to sit at the back. You have for your money. You have your things. Yeah, I said you can go. You don't have to sit at the back if you don't want to sit at the back. You understand what I'm saying? But then also the other teachable thing is that he saw that I'm more than willing for other people to ride and enjoy themselves. But what I'm not going to do is let people ride at the expense of my son not getting what he wants. No. So that's a teachable moment for all of us. So I don't know what it is that you're doing today in your life or whatever, but don't let people take liberties. Be kind, share, be loving. That is what it's all about. But don't let people run your head and pick at your very eyeball and then make you have to take a back seat in things where, no, we're not doing that. Have a wonderful day, darlings. Blessings.